Hello Cancer, I hope you're well. Cancer, I'm so sorry that this video is really dark. It is pretty much going into nighttime now, but I've been wanting to make videos for ages now, and my mornings and daytimes are just so busy at the minute. I just haven't been able to, but I really want to do these videos now, so I'm just gonna have to work with the minimal light that I have, but hopefully it won't affect you watching this too much. So Cancer, this is a general message, so if it resonates with you, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine. Just don't try and force the message to fit, because we don't want any misinformation being given. The roles can be reversed, so if I'm interpreting you as like one side, but you're resonating more with the other, that's fine. Swap and reverse them however you need to. It's just easier if I interpret one side as one individual and one as the other, if that's how the message comes through. It just makes it easier for everybody involved. And then there's no timestamps on these readings either, Cancer, so whenever the message finds you, if it resonates, that's great. So Cancer, which deck? This one. This one for my Cancerians. Whoa, that was quick. This clearly wanted to come out. Undressing of the Salad. This came out just literally in the Gemini reading that I just did. So, hold on, let me just flip this over. Let me just see what wants to come through. Okay, Cancer. So the first thing that I'm being drawn to in this image, sorry that the lighting's absolutely terrible and it's not focusing. Just listen to my words. But what I'm actually being drawn to in this card, which I've actually never noticed before, you see how his wings here are really like frayed, and they're down. It's almost like quite sorrowful, like forlorn is the word that I'm actually getting. Forlorn. Something that you had kind of hoped would take flight hasn't. You feel like you've fallen at the first hurdle. That's kind of what's coming through. You feel like you've fallen at the first hurdle, and now this image at the top here is coming over like this. This reminds me of what's called a child's pose in some forms of yoga. A child's pose, it's where you like you sit on your knees and you lean your head forward and you stretch your arms forward, but it's like a safety thing, like a safety pose almost. So it's like you feel forlorn and like you've fallen at the first hurdle, and you're kind of like sort of just wanting to like curl up. Sorry, a message just came through. That was my nan. You're just kind of wanting to like curl up in a ball and just sort of like shut it out. It's like Cancer wants to retreat into their shell. They want to retreat into their shell, because now I'm being drawn to the fact that we have 3 in 1 here, which is 4, which is all about foundations. What was I saying? Like, the foundations are the first thing to be built in something, aren't they? They're the first things to be built, and it's like you feel like you've fallen at the first hurdle and you feel quite defeated because of it. It's not taken flight the way you wanted it to. However that applies. I'm not sure what area of your life that... Whoa, way too many cards. Okay, I mean, that was way too many cards, but I'm gonna take this one that's just popped out on the top of the massive pile, because it's very, very relevant to literally what I was just saying. We had... Sorry, my nan keeps messaging me. I love you, nan, because I know you watch all these. We had the Death card come out. So what was I saying? All this energy of something not coming to fruition the way that you'd planned. The foundations are cracking before you could even really build upon them, and you're just kind of like, it's like you almost want to be this now. You just want to pull the duvet over your head, curl up in a ball, and just like shut it out, shut the experience out, shut whatever you were feeling emotionally towards it, or whatever you had actually invested in it. it feels like, Cancer, that you've offered up this egg here. You've given an offering of something to someone, to something. You know, I don't know how it applies to you. And it's not come back. And it's almost like you're a bit embarrassed, maybe, because, you know, now with the veil that she's got over her head, it's almost like, oh my god, I just want to hide away. Like, there's almost like a sense of embarrassment or shame that's kind of coming through, which is really sad, Cancer. Do you know, I mean, we haven't done the rest of the reading yet, but this actually could be connected to the Taurus reading, which I just did. And I actually said in that Taurus reading that you might be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And that reading was about someone who had potentially shown a romantic interest in someone in the Taurus, and the Taurus had turned away from it and been like, no, I'm not on board with this. So this actually could be a follow-on from that. But we're still going to continue with this as a general reading. We'll see what else comes up in the cards a bit later on. But you know, if you have watched the Taurus one and you resonate with that, it could be that, you know, you've offered something to someone and it hasn't been reciprocated, and you're feeling a little bit embarrassed about it. Okay, that's just one message that's wanting to come through, but we'll move on with the reading, because this might be relevant to a few other kind of situations in other people's lives. So far, foundations, they've cracked. It's fallen at the first hurdle. Cancer wants to hide away. Cancer's feeling disappointment and maybe a little bit of embarrassment because something hasn't gone through, it hasn't been successful. Maybe you had a lot invested in this, or you had a lot riding on it. I love this card. I wish it would focus, and I wish it was daytime so you could see all the colours in it. But I love this card. This is the Two of Pentacles, but doesn't she? It just always looks like a priestess or a gypsy of some kind. And it's interesting. I don't want the readings to be connected, but it really, this might be connected to the Taurus one, because in the Taurus reading, again, we had a different card from a different deck, but it was the same imagery of turning away from something, like turning their back on something. So if this is connected to the Taurus reading and you were the one that did the offering to the Taurus and the Taurus rejected you, it's like this is what you felt. You felt like someone was turning away from you. You felt rejected, like they turned their back on you in a harsh way, in quite a harsh way. And that was quite upsetting. And that's where these sort of broken wings are kind of coming through here. I want to get another card because it kind of feels like it's all connecting very much to the Taurus reading. But I mean, if that's the message that wants to come through, that obviously needs to come through. If something else is going to come up, then that's great. Okay, we had the Hierophant in reverse. So just give me a minute, Cancer. I hope I didn't call you Gemini or anything. I always worry that in these videos, because I record multiples at the same time, like consecutively after one another, and I always worry that I've called whatever video I'm recording the previous video's sign. I do apologise if I do that. Just ignore me. Just listen to the title instead. Cancer, this almost even looks like you, because like his hands literally look like little crabby claws. It's cute. Hierophant in the reverse with the death. You obviously wanted to make a commitment to something, Cancer. Your heart was starting to become invested in something. You wanted to make a commitment, because the Hierophant is all about commitments. And it's fallen through, like I was saying before. Someone turned their back on you. Sorry, I'm getting so many messages through. 1 second. Okay, so you see what I've just noticed? This moon here in the corner, the crescent moon, even though this card is upside down, it is still perfectly in line and still facing the same direction as this moon up here. And this is another person and this is you. Even though this person has like turned away from you and it's hurt you, you know, there's been a death of the situation, you know, your offering wasn't accepted and you've sort of gone into this like protection mode. Like your moon, your La Luna, your moon is still pointing towards this one. Oh, Cancer, so sad. Bless. Honestly, Cancer, if you're dealing with a Taurus or someone that comes across very much like a Taurus, they don't have to be a Taurus, but if they come across as typical, you know, characteristics that we would associate with the Taurian personality, go watch that video, seriously, because there'll be something in there for you, because this is just lining up far too much. Like, even though they've turned away, like your moon, your emotions, your waters are still feeling pulled towards this one. Like, even though your commitment, your offering, whatever it was, it like fell flat, it's like you still can't help. You still can't help that your tides are being pulled towards them. I'm just gonna get another one because one more card for Cancer, please. Yeah, we'll take that one actually. The Hanged Man. Okay, yeah. I do think that these two readings are connected. So in the Taurus reading, Cancer, the message that was coming through was for them to not turn away from something that they've in their own way, they've kind of gone into a self-protective mode. Okay, like I said, Cancer, you might not be dealing with a Taurus, but there's definitely something in that reading, because at the end of the day, we all have all of the zodiac signs within us, within our birth charts. It's just that some of them are more prominent than others, but we all have all 12 zodiacs. So there's clearly something in that other video for you that I feel like you need to watch, because in that reading it was saying, you know, Taurus had gone into like their own protection mode because something had made them uncomfortable, and they were turning away from something far too quickly, or they were turning away from something that they hadn't given the time that was needed for it to come to fruition for the Taurus. Okay, and so the next card that's come out is the Hanged Man, and it's almost like this is the advice for you, Cancer. Like, you need to just remain steady, remain still, don't move. Don't move, Cancer. Don't move from where you are. Wait, be patient. You know, if this is really resonating for you, be patient, wait. Don't allow yourself to get too drowned. Sorry, I've just had another message pop through. Don't allow yourself to get drowned, Cancer, because, you know, Cancerians are very prone to melancholy and being overwhelmed by emotions, okay, because you rule water. You know, you need to kind of remove yourself from the emotional element of this, Cancer, and you need to just keep steady. Keep steady. Don't make a move at the minute, okay? Don't make a move. I'm not saying like go message this person, like whoever this person is that you're dealing with, or whatever it is that you're dealing with, if it's just a situation, but I do feel it is more romantic, or even family related, but there's something emotionally tied to this. There's some sort of an emotional thing between two people going on here, whether it be platonic or romantic. Like, give that person space. That's what they need. That's why they've turned away, because they don't swim in the realm of emotions as easily as the crab does, whoever this is. They don't, it's just that it's not their natural element. So I don't think, even if you're not dealing with a Taurus, I don't think you're dealing with another water sign. I actually think you're probably dealing with an air sign. If it's not probably an air sign, because air signs are the same in the sense of emotions is just so kind of far removed from their natural state of element that like their way to get through the pathway to emotions is very, very different to a water sign, which is probably why maybe your emotions have come up a lot quicker than the other person, or you're swimming a lot more in the emotional side of this situation than the other person is, where the other person might be very much just in their headspace about it, you know, moving into the element of air, thinking about it a lot more rather than moving through their emotions. So you need to give that person space, and you kind of just need to hang fast, hang steady. Don't move, don't necessarily go anywhere, don't completely shut off this opportunity, because there is a potential that the clocks will sort of turn back time and that this thing is going to come back around, but you need to be patient. And I've just realized I said clocks, and literally what have we got hanging off its foot? I mean, you can't see it, but that is a little clock there. That's a little pocket watch. And yeah, just, he's upside down. This is upside down time. This is time reversing backwards. I think whatever this is, whoever it is, they're going to come back around. But Cancer, you need to give them the space that they need to process. Because, you know, water signs, we can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. I'm a water sign, so I completely resonate. Because emotions to us are they just come incredibly natural to us. But you do need to give this person space, because that's not how they process things. But do have hope, I want to say, Cancer. Have hope and just have patience. I'm not promising you how this situation will work out or what's going to come of it. I'm not making you any promises, because the cards aren't showing me that. They're not showing me that far. But I do think that something's going to happen where someone's going to come back around, maybe have a conversation with you, illuminate something, but you just need to be patient and just don't overwhelm them. Just give them the space that they need. Okay, I kind of repeated myself a few times there, but that definitely really needed to come through the message. So yeah, if you want to check out the Taurus reading, do that, because this has so many similarities in it, actually, an incredible amount. But you, Cancer, if you're not dealing with the Taurus, that's cool. Maybe this just applies to somewhere else in your life. Hopefully that resonated, Cancer. Hopefully there's something in there for you. If not, hopefully in one of my next videos I'll have a message for you. Thanks for dealing with the very, very poor lighting. I literally only have my fairy lights on over here now, because it's nighttime now, but I really wanted to do this video, so hopefully the poor lighting didn't affect your viewing standards and the message that came through. Okay, Cancer, I hope you have a lovely day, night, whatever time of day it is for you, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye, Cancer.